I'm starting out this video by quoting you a quote from a book by Spanish long distance runner, Kilian Hornet Burgada, who says, winning isn't about finishing in first place. It isn't about beating the others. It is about overcoming yourself, overcoming your body, your limitations, and your fears. Winning means surpassing yourself and turning your dreams into reality. Now, why am I wanting to quote on this? I want you to understand how important it is for you to appreciate your own body and for you to take time out. And also understanding that by working extremely hard, you're not actually doing yourself any favors. So there's a huge difference between being extremely productive to being extremely busy. So there are a huge difference between productive people and busy people. And it's going to be this big difference that's going to make you successful in your business or not. So before I continue, I want to go through a little bit about myself. My name is Anita Hurry. I am founder of Anita Hurry Academy. It's a teacher training school for Pilates teachers, and I'm also a business mentor and coach for Pilates and wellness teachers to help you to achieve the most amazing business in your life with less stress, less hassle, and giving you more freedom to do exactly what you want to be doing. If you like this video, hit the like and subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell to be notified every time I upload a video online. Now, going back to this week's video, Kilian himself has come up with some amazing contrasts between productive people and busy people, and I really want to share them with you guys here. So let's go. He says that busy people want to look like they have a mission. Productive people have a mission for their lives. Busy people have many priorities. Productive people have very few priorities. Busy people say yes quickly. Productive people say yes slowly. Busy people focus on action. Productive people focus on clarity before action. Busy people keep all doors open. Productive people close doors. Busy people talk about how busy they are. Productive people let their results do the talking. Busy people talk about how little time they have. Productive people make time for what is most important. Busy people multitask. Productive people focus. Busy people respond quickly to emails. Productive people take their time. Busy people want other people to be busy. Productive people want others to be effective. Busy people talk about how they will change. Productive people are the ones making those changes. So as you can see, this whole idea of being busy and not actually achieving anything with your day can actually be very, very destructive. So I want to really go through how I've used these concepts from what I've learned with Kilian, and really put them through into my own business and figure out whether I am being super busy or I am being productive, and how much time am I actually wasting every single day and not being productive. Now, if you consider 30 minutes every day on social media, whatever you're doing on social media, and multiply that by 356 days, that's going to account to approximately 22 full days of wasted time. Now, that is the lack of busyness that we're really using here as waste of time. We are not being productive. There's lack of productivity. So we might look like we're busy, but we're absolutely doing zero with our time. So now consider looking at how we can use our time effectively, efficiently, to be achievers in our world, to actually get things done and to be more profitable in our businesses. This really goes down to one very simple thing, and it's a no-brainer for some of you, but many of us really know what they need to be doing, but they still don't do it. And it's all down to planning and planning. And some of you might just completely pull away from the idea of, oh my goodness, I have to plan. I hate planning. I'm a very spontaneous person. And absolutely, there's no problem with you having a plan and the plan changing. but at least you have a good guide and a good idea on how you're going to manage your day, your week, your month, your year, etc. And that's how you actually achieve goals. Now, I want to share something with you that I've only just recently discovered, and I feel super embarrassed to have actually just discovered it just now, but it's really made a huge difference in the way that I'm running my business, and I'm being extremely more productive doing my things this way. So I want to share these things with you. So our body runs on two different clocks. Our body runs on the circadian rhythm. So that is on the 24-hour clock, right? So we have 24 hours in the day, and we run our days based on the time of day. So we're waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning, we do our work through the day, and then by midnight, we've got to have finished all our day, and then yet another day starts after midnight. This is the way that I've run my life for the past way over 40 years. And I guess that if I really had to ask a question to some of you, you're probably going to say that's exactly the way that you've run your life. Now, the second clock, and this is totally insane, and I'm sure that those of you who are already on it are probably laughing your heads off saying, oh my goodness, she's only just realized this, but we also have an infradian rhythm. Okay, this is only available to us women who are still in our cycles. Okay, so if you are not in your cycle, you are probably having to discover other ways of managing your own body clock. But I want to discuss a little bit about the infradian rhythm. And the infradian rhythm is totally about how our body clock works according to our cycle. So there are 4 stages to our cycle. Now, I don't want you to be tuning out just because you're not getting a cycle, because there's still many ways that you are going to benefit from this video, because at the end of the day, this really boils down to doing some good planning. But let me just discuss a little bit about this infradian rhythm. So 4 stages into the cycle, and our 28-day cycle into our periods. So learning how to manage our time and our tasks according to at the particular stage we are in our cycle is going to be our superpower when it comes to our productivity levels. So ladies in the house who are still having their cycle, listen up. So the first stage of your cycle is going to be your menstrual stage. And of course, during that stage of your cycle, you are going to have the lowest estrogen levels and the lowest energy. So do not fight it. Then don't try to really suppress yourself and think that you're know it all and do it all and really fight it and say that you've got the superpower, because you're just basically working against yourself and you're going to exhaust yourself even more. Now, what you need to be doing here is to cut down on your to-do list. Give yourself some gentle exercise. So if you're practicing Pilates, make sure that you tone down on the level of Pilates that you're doing, and also make sure you take plenty of rest. Take plenty of rest because it's going to help you supercharge yourself when it comes to that stage of the month when you're going to have a lot more energy. And then right after your menstrual cycle is going to be your follicular cycle. Now here your energy levels are up, your energy starts to boom, you're going to need to use it. You're going to need to be more productive. Use your energy right. Use it wisely. So this is a great time to set intentions, start new projects, get creative, start new things, set yourself some goals. This is a time of the month where you really have to be productive in the sense of goal setting. That has to be that part of the month when you're setting those strategies and putting them in place. And then in the ovulatory stage, it's going to be the most amazing time where you're partying around town, you're having your fun, and you've got lots and lots of energy. So this is the time where physically and you're working out, you need to get more strength, you need to get more power, you need to get more high intensity. So if you want to go for that jog, you want to go for that run, you want to have a good power Pilates session, and maybe you want to climb up that mountain, go ahead, go do that. This is the time where you really have the energy. And keep that intention going, working on your goals, putting lots more time, and maybe focusing more on the projects that you're currently working on and being a lot more productive there. After that stage comes the luteal phase, and this is where your energy levels and your estrogen are starting to decrease. And again, things are going to start slowing down, waning down. So you really need to consider this when it comes to your work and your productivity. Basically, when it comes to your work, you need to work on those maybe behind the scenes projects. If you are doing workshops, if you're teaching workshops, this is not the time to be doing workshops. So it really very much, this is where you need to be looking at maybe closing off your month, maybe doing admin work, maybe doing things that are maybe a little bit more monotonous in your work, and plan your month like that. Did your brain just fry there for me? Did you just completely lose it like I did when I got to find out? I mean, this is totally insane. It completely changed the way that I started working, and I've started to understand and appreciate that I have a cycle and I need to work with it. So when I was younger, I would literally fight through these experiences of feeling tired and feeling maybe moody, and you know what I mean. And now I'm actually appreciating it, I'm valuing it, and I'm thinking, right, I plan my month according to my cycle. Damn! Now, to improve your time, to improve your productivity, you really need to start getting rid of the weeds. Now, I've already spoken about getting rid of the weeds in this particular video over here, where you really have to start shedding all the stuff that is non-productive, shedding all the relationships that are not beneficial for you, and really focusing on what is going to help you grow and what is going to make everything in your life so wholesome. So I know there's a word for this. It's like brain dump, right? So we are doing tasks in our daily lives that are superfluous. We don't really need to be doing them in our lives, and this is where we start becoming a lot more productive. Things like doing the grocery shopping, things like taking the rubbish out. I remember Dean Graziosi, I've done a few of courses with Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins, and I remember Dean Graziosi saying that he had an argument with his mother because his mother was completely shocked that he didn't want to take the trash out, and he had actually some other person dealing with his trash at home. So she was like completely surprised. Well, why aren't you taking it out? And he's like, no, I've got more productive things to do. I don't want to be wasting my time in doing that. And that's exactly what I've started to do. I'm looking at what tasks in my day are actually wasting my time. Things like doing that, taking the trash out, doing the shopping. My son is now left home, so I don't have any more school runs to do, but I know that school runs would have been extremely unproductive for me. And perhaps even things like walking the dog. And of course, walking the dog it's good for us because we get our own exercise. But if you have to take your dog out 3 times a day for an hour each day or 45 minutes each day, that could actually be counterproductive for you. So if you want to have a good workout, I'm going to be talking about that a little bit later. But really block your times and think of the tasks that are really going to be productive for you, that are going to help you. So, taking out all these weeds, things like maybe you do your own cleaning at home. Maybe you need a helper to help you at home. And if you still really need to keep control of that particular task, maybe you get somebody else to help you so it reduces your time. Really consider, and I also mentioned this in tasks at work, tasks in the studio. Are you the one cleaning the bathrooms? Are you the one cleaning the floors, cleaning the equipment? Are you the one doing all the admin? And you could be looking busy, being busy, but not actually being productive. And you'll be very surprised when you figure out how much it costs you for you to hire out a cleaner, hire out somebody to help you out with the cleaning, than for you to do the work where you could be earning your income at the same time, where you could be out there being more productive, where you could be planning. You don't have to be actually teaching out there, but even planning would be an important part of your role as a business, as a Pilates business entrepreneur, as a wellness entrepreneur. Now, the other thing to consider with regards to getting rid of the weeds at work is automating things, automating processes. So if you have a booking process, is it automated? if you have an email set up for your clients, is that automated? Do you automate your booking system? Think about things that you can automate. And there's a couple of things that I can mention here. As I just mentioned, your Pilates inquiries, the first inquiries, that could also always be automated. Anybody asking about classes coming into your studio, you could also have a template and maybe make sure that you block times. If you don't have a helper, if you don't have a front of house, if you don't have a receptionist, that you only block times to make appointments for people to come and look at your studio, and you have a very easy or a very simple way to inform the clients and to show the clients how it would be if they came to work out at your studio. Another amazing idea, and this is a process that I know I've worked in my businesses, is having a walk through the studio in a video format, so the clients will feel that they're actually there, but they're doing a virtual walkthrough, and then you're asking them, you're answering any particular questions that are the standard questions that clients would ask. And then if they still have any questions, then they can do so by phone or by email, and that will release you from the time of actually showing clients around the studio. Things like emails, automation, things like bookings straight away. So if you've got current clients, do you have an automatic booking system? Things like invoicing, payments, client cash collection, and many other things. Even your marketing strategy can all be automated. Nowadays, social media allows you to schedule your marketing posts so that you don't have to sit there and actually post it and send it out at the same time. There are many strategies that you can work on to reduce your time behind the desk in the office, and it's going to make you a lot more productive. Now, the next big piece is planning. I've already mentioned it before. Now is going to be the big chunk of the video I really want to discuss. So if you are in your cycle, it's going to work for you. If you're not in your cycle, it's also going to be working for you. So let's get right into it. So how do we plan our month, our week, on our day? Well, there's a famous quote that I really wanted to share with you. And it says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So I really want you to stick by this. Let's look at our monthly plans. How do I stick to my monthly plans? What do I actually do here? Okay, so every month I set a theme for the month. Now, in this case, in my case, we're coming up to September, and September is, I'm going to start doing my teacher training planning. Why? Because in January, I start a new teacher training year, and I will be all full on board by then. So I have to start planning from September. I've got 3 months to make sure that everything is sorted. It's all planned. The strategies are in place. The people, the team are on board, and also the students are on board to know what they need to be doing. So I start in September. It's going to be my planning month, and I'm going to be setting a lot of wheels in motion to make this project happen, this teacher training happen in January. So September is going to be my month of setting the strategies, setting the plans, and really kickstarting that. And I know that it's going to be my main focus, so that my main focus in September is essentially going to be the strategies that I need to be putting into place with my team to make sure that the teacher training in January happens. Now, I also play to my phases. Remember that I have to play to my strength. So I know when in the month I have more energy, because I understand when during my infradian rhythm, I'm going to have a lot more energy to do things. So I'm going to be setting things in motion. So I really need to plan my time according to how my body is feeling and which phase I am in my cycle. So it could be whether I'm in the menstrual, follicular, ovulatory, or luteal cycle. I really need to make sure that I work to those strengths. So if I want to set things in motion and I really want to propel this whole project through, I'm going to do this in the follicular and the ovulatory period, and especially in the ovulatory period, where I really need to make sure that I get all my energy in there to set everything in motion, to get my team on board, to make sure that everything is falling into place as I am planning it. And then every single time, every single week, I'm going to
make sure that I plan my weeks to fit into that monthly plan that I have. So let's look at what I need to be doing every week. So every week I'm going to set 3 main priorities that are going to lead me to my key goals. So in my case, if I have a teacher training program set up for January, I need to make sure that every week I have 3 priorities that are going to lead me to that goal for the month of September. Have I planned all the courses? Are all my manuals ready? Do we need to review any manuals from the previous teacher training course? Do we need to make sure that we add more content? Do we have to change any particular graphics in the content? Is there anything in the videos we want to be changing? Things like that are super important, that I make sure that I note them down as priorities, and I have to make sure that they are going to lead me to that final goal, that everything has to be ready by the end of September. And of course, the next big thing is that I have to batch busy tasks. Now, I'll be explaining a little bit more about what busy tasks are, and also batch response times. So let me go through and just explain a little bit about what the busy tasks are going to be. So the busy tasks every single week are going to be like checking in my Trello and checking in with my team, making sure that I'm serving my team, making sure that they're all happy and they need what they have what they need to be productive. Checking in with my social media, with my community and my emails, and of course checking with my business stats, of course, to make sure that my business is still successful and still being very productive. So it takes me approximately 1 hour per day. Now, this is done every morning, but it's done within the week, and these busy tasks are going to be changing. You know, I don't have to say, okay, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I need to be doing this particular task, and at 10 o'clock in the morning, I do this task. No, times can change as long as I stick to these tasks and make sure that I cross them off to my to-do list to make sure that I am still being productive. Then the other thing that is super important is that I batch response times. And this is where productive people are so different to busy people. So how many times, I'm going to have to ask this question to you guys, how many times have you felt that you really are getting distracted by all these WhatsApp messages you're getting, or all these Facebook Messenger messages or Instagram messages, whatever you're receiving, from actually they're stopping you, they're distracting you from doing something that is super productive? How many times have you felt that? And you really have to understand that if you are focused and super in tune in a particular project, and you really want to finish it and you want to complete it, every time you get distracted by a stupid little thing, and it could be receiving a message from a client or even a message from a friend or your partner, whatever it might be, you're being distracted and you're losing time, because then you have to focus back onto your project after answering their message. So that's where you really need to start batching response times. So I do this about 3 to 4 times a week. So if you ever message me on Facebook or YouTube, I actually block off times to reply to these messages. I don't reply to messages as soon as I receive them. I used to do this, so I'm super guilty of actually doing this before, but I don't do this anymore, and I've found that I have actually been super productive now. So I batch times in my day or in my week where I know that I have to reply to my emails, reply to my messages, answer any particular comments on social media, whatever. But doing that, it really helps me get them off my checklist, and making sure that I focus on what is super important first. Okay, then moving on to my daily tasks. And the daily tasks are they're very similar to the weekly tasks, but they're broken down even more. Okay, so I'm actually repeating the weekly tasks on a daily basis. And then I'm still doing my prioritization. So I prioritize on what has to be done, what really needs to be done. And I'm looking at if I'm teaching, I know that I have blocks in my day. So to give you a simple example, I have days where I am at the studio. I don't work at the studio every single day. So I have days where I'm at the studio. I have days that I have coaching clients, and I have days where I have super me time. And I try not to mix any of them because I want to spend less time in commuting. I want to spend less time and energy in feeling that I have to achieve everything for everybody. So I specifically say, right, okay, for example, my Mondays and my Wednesdays are mainly my studio days. So on Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm actually teaching at the studio. And if I have some slots in between, and I do this by doing my schedule in Google Calendar, very simple schedule that I do on Google Calendar. And maybe one day I'll share it with you. And if you do want me to share it with you, just hit the comments below and say, share your Google Calendar with me, and I'll be able to explain a bit more about how I run my schedule every week. And I know that if I have days where I'm teaching, I'm going to have less time to be able to coach people, to mentor people, or to have meetings with my team and things like that, or maybe even have free time for myself or for my family, etc. So I really want to make sure that I prioritize those tasks. And you know what is my main priority on my schedule every single day for at least 1 hour? That's my meditation. That is my Pilates or yoga or any other form of exercise that I plan. And then once a week, very simple, once a week, I do a treatment that makes me feel good, a treatment that makes me feel wholesome and maybe gives me energy. I'll take a massage or I do a facial, etc. So I put these all on my schedule and I plan them, so I know that I've achieved them. Then, of course, remember that all tasks that you do lead to overarching goals. And this is super important because your whole point of doing this planning process is to get your goals achieved, to achieve those goals, to make sure that you follow the plan and achieve the goals. So really important that you follow these tasks. And another huge thing is blank spare time. Blank spare time to spend with yourself, with your loved ones, with your family, even just going out for a walk with your dog, or if you don't have any pets, just go for a walk around the block. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so let's just go quickly through these busy tasks that I've actually mentioned. So every morning you need to check in with the busy tasks that you've batched and you put into a specific time frame daily. So as I mentioned, in my schedule, I have my meditation and my morning tasks that are super important for me. So my home workout and my practice. Then I also batch times for doing my admin, and I batch times for seeing clients, having meetings, maybe doing outside meetings, they're personal meetings that I have with perhaps the bank or my accountant or whatever, or my social media manager. So I really need to make sure that I have all these people fit into my schedule every week, but every day I am batching these busy tasks to make sure that I don't go toing and froing from the most important tasks. And the other thing that this helps you do is it really removes all those tasks that you really don't need to be doing, that you can be delegating, that you can maybe pay someone to do, or if you don't want to pay someone to do, see if there's a friend that can help you, or a parent that can help you, or a sister or a brother, or whoever that can help you, maybe picking up the kids from school, or maybe babysitting, whatever that might be, to help you with these busy tasks. And then we're moving on to the response times. Again, I need to make sure that every single day I am communicating with clients and my team and ensuring that we stay on track for our daily and weekly goals. Okay, so I do allocate a time every single day, and if it's not with my clients, it has to be with my team to make sure that we are still on track. Okay, so as I mentioned before, the overarching goals are going to be those goals that we need to be able to achieve our dream. So in my case, I said that I have my teacher training month in January, but my September is going to be my planning month. So these small daily chunks of work, these tasks that I'm doing are going to set my week, which is going to set my month, and it's going to help me achieve my plan to be productive and effective when it comes to doing my teacher training. And of course, the most important part of my schedule is blanking the spare times. And this is my best bit, because I can plan whatever else I want to achieve personally. Like, as I mentioned, working out, meditating, having my massage, doing some lunch, or even traveling. You know, this is super important for us. It has actually been scientifically proven to help your brain function, to increase our longevity, and to create sharpness in our brain, and to create strength, not just in our brain, but also in our body. So super important we blank our spare times. Do not even attempt to say this is not important. Do not even think that you should just fit in another client or fit in another coaching session or whatever you're doing with your clients. Make sure you stick religiously to those blank times, to those spare times, because they are super important for your well-being. So I'm just going to share with you some self-care practices that I think you should consider doing. And if not doing everything, it's very important to try at least one or two of them, so that you ensure that all aspects of your well-being are taken care of, making self-care practices a part of your routine. Okay, so let's go through them quickly. And we're looking at meditation. So meditate, eat healthily, practice Pilates, practice yoga, go for a walk around the block if you don't like practicing either of them, and meet a friend for lunch. And then, of course, if you can have yourself a facial every week or a massage every week, go ahead and do so. I mean, I want to share something with you that I've learned from Robin Sharma. Robin Sharma, the author of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari, Robin Sharma actually books himself 2 massages every week. 2 massages every week. How cool is that? That's absolutely awesome. And I would recommend to you just at least doing 1 or 2 of these things every single week, to help you in your own well-being. Okay, so finally, I just want to share this with you. Working smarter, not harder. Being insanely productive while doing less. Don't you think it makes sense? Are you with me? It's going to help you have the best day, have the best week, the best month, the best year. It's going to help you achieve your goals.
So when you think about it, being productive comes down to a few things, a few very important things, you know, looking at your bodily clock, looking at your discipline to prioritize tasks, looking at filtering through all those horrible weeds that are taking up your time. And the other big thing is planning. So I hope these tips have been super helpful for you. I hope that you managed to put some of them through and put them into practice. Really work on them in your own businesses, because you will notice a difference and you will notice a change. If you did like this video, please hit the like, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell to get notified every time I upload a video online. If you have found this very useful and you want to share it with any of your friends, please do share. More sharing is more caring. Until my next video, I wish you very, very well. Goodbye.